I just find it crazy that they actually, all those pieces fell in line for that to happen. There's a lot of kismet here, whatever you want to call it, that, I know I worked hard enough to do some of it myself. I had an interest in some of that happened, but still, I had more than one guy want me out of the lab. They wanted me back in the lab. And at one point, one of my managers, she didn't know that, jack shit about what she was in a job that she didn't even know what she was doing about. But she wanted me to teach the Indian guys how to do what I do, so I can get back in the lab and do some analysis. Go back to the lab and run the instruments and all that. I walked out of that meeting. Elizabeth, her name, as we left out, she said, "Don't pay any attention to that. You're not going anywhere." Okay, I'm with you, baby.
I get on board with that.
Yeah. So good fortune again, because not everybody would say that. But fortunately, I was in a unique position enough that they recognize that if they don't do this, there's going to be a price to pay for it, because once we've established what we're doing, you're screwing up here if you don't handle this right,
Mm-hmm.
And that was my good fortune then. It's just you never know what these things are coming out. But that guy, he sat around the table and says, "My job is to get you to teach that guy to get you do your job so you can go back in the lab and go back to work, bench work, Yeah, that's not where I want to go." Don't really want to do that. The like one of those seminal moments was so now we purchased Labware, and one of my colleagues, Andrea, she was sort of running up this digital environment, so I worked closely with her, even though she was basically my manager. We basically worked together. So we went to a meeting in Boston, and this when we were at this meeting, Labware was there. Well, uh, Vance was there, Vance and a couple other guys, and so we've had a few drinks, just like Vance. This is a typical Vance meeting, and so they kind of grabbed me and get a little circle, and so Vance says, you know, we could use you. We could put you in a job here pretty quick. And he said, you'd be interested in that. And I said, well, Vance, I know this is how things have worked for others, so I'm not getting surprised here. And I'm happy to hear that. And he says, this would probably be about $500 a day, Hey, this is starting to feel pretty good.
Right. Keep it cool, play cool.
Breathe deeply.
Act like you've been here before.
Yeah. So, but I told him, I said, I love, I can't deny that this excites me. I said, but on the other hand, right now, I'm probably within a year or two of taking a package from GE that, frankly, it's, after 30 years at that point at GE, I've got to be careful about how I manage some of this stuff. And Dan said, it's cool. Let me know when you're ready. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, just think about that, And when it came time, I figured I'd go into a consultant job. Those are hit and miss, when you work or you don't and all that. So when they offered me a regular employment job, I wasn't sure that I really wanted to be tied to a job, I had some freedom to step away, but really that doesn't work that way. You go to work on these projects, you're going to be locked in hard, probably, which I came to realize. And so Nate's the guy that when we went for a run one morning, one of our meetings, he said, "You really want to be an employee." Listen to him. He says, "Let me say that again. You really want to be an employee." I'm hearing you. I've got it. And so that's when made sure that I understood there was a big difference in being an employee as a part of holdings, which was the core part of the company, because the company's kind of spread out since then in various segments. But core is just what it sounds like. It's right in the center of it, and it's a bunch of people that we've been tied to ever since we got involved, and others before that. But yeah, it was good advice, and you get lucky sometimes. How would I might not have said that at a different point, and taken that advice at a different point. It's the old fork of the road. You just never quite know when you've made the right or the wrong decision. That one got that one right.
Yeah. Instinct to follow someone's advice too. Like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I've been around good people though. I mean, it's really Nate and his family are the ones that came down when we told you they drove down from. Maybe I didn't. Anyway, they live in at, at the office basically outside of Wilmington, and of course they have the RV. The RV. So they loaded their whole family up. All but one of them, they got in the RV and drove across the country and stopped here on their way to Colorado because one of their kids was going to go to school. I guess it was actually in Wyoming, just out north of the border of Colorado. But they stopped in for a night and we hung out and had a great visit, and just part of the network of friends we've had over the years. And you think, this is really cool that we've done this, and they're talking about coming down just with our group, 3 or 4 of us, and coming down for a couple day or two because I'm here. And it's really a gratifying thing to have people like that around you and part of the family, and it's unusual and special.
It's been 11 years with Labware now. Is that right?
Yeah, June of 2007 is when I started.
Yeah.
I was retired for a month.
I seem to recall you saying around that time that you thought you'd do 10 years.
Yeah, we didn't know, but figured, okay, probably good for 10 years. And up until current events, I figured I would probably go through until I was 70, at that point. Being in good health, everything. I didn't have a strong reason to change, and I liked what I was doing. And, benefits packages, things like that kind of changed. So I thought, well, I really shouldn't think about working until I drop, But I didn't have a strong sense of what it should feel like and what it should be. And, instantly it changed, when you look at your life in a different way all of a sudden. And no regrets about it. Yeah, that's fine. I wouldn't have changed it differently, but now I have a different look, and so I'm going to spend my time differently, probably. That's which I wanted